Usyk and Fury are set for a record-breaking $190 million purse in their rematch on December 21st in Riyadh. Usyk will earn 60%, which is $114 million, while Fury gets 40%, $76 million. And this excludes potential pay-per-view earnings. Despite heavy losses from piracy and streaming issues in their previous bout, Saudi organizers are aiming to improve profitability through reduced pay-per-view prices, hoping to counteract illegal streams and boost viewership. You can buy the pay-per-view right now at $24.99 in the UK and $39.95 in the US. In Velasquez enjoying himself at a Mexican restaurant in San Jose, there is the possibility that he won't be able to do so for a while because his sentencing is on January 24th. Velasquez pled no contest to charges including attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. The potential sentence could range from probation with time served to even decades in prison, depending on the judge's discretion and consideration of factors like his clean record and the circumstances surrounding the incident. Harry Goulart Jr., the man Kane attempted to fire at, doesn't have a criminal trial date set yet, but there is a civil trial date set for May 19, 2025. That involves allegations that Goulart abused Cain Velasquez's son and that Goulart's mother, stepfather, and their childcare business negligently enabled the abuse. The lawsuit claims that they failed to supervise Goulart or prevent the misconduct, holding the family and their businesses accountable for the harm caused to the child. Their business was run out of their home in San Martin, California. Leon Edwards says he's going to be headlining the March 22nd Fight Night card in London. Kevin Holland says Jack Della Maddalena versus Leon Edwards should be the main event. More than likely will be either Jack or Sean Brady. It won't be Usman. Edwards already fought him 3 times. Rachmaninoff's fighting Gary and then fighting for the belt, assuming he wins. Holland takes on the man from Holland, Rainier de Ridder, January 18th, UFC 311 in LA. Claressa Shields thinks she knocks out Jake Paul. He'll probably try and make that fight now. We've seen some journeymen sit her ass down. She tries to be as unbearable as possible at this point. Has to be an act. This would be the first fight I'd be rooting for Jake to win. Cyborg has been pushing to fight her for quite some time in boxing, a fight that would obviously make more sense. With Boots pulling out of the Ortiz fight February 22nd in Saudi Arabia, let's replace that fight with Chris Cyborg versus Claressa Shields on the Riyadh season mega card. All the steroids got Donald Cerrone feeling like a new man. He wants to come back. Spring of 2025, coming for the UFC 50 fights. Dana White didn't seem happy at all that Donald Cerrone was interested in coming back. I thought they shot you down, but Cowboy Cerrone laughs at that notion. Nah. What weight, big boy? That's the real question. 185, 170? I don't know. His last fight a couple years ago was at 170 against Jim Miller. He lost that fight. Miller has the most fights in UFC history with 45, then Arlovski 42, then Cerrone 38. Same order for wins. Most wins in UFC history, Jim Miller first, then Arlovski and Cerrone with 23 victories. Miller got 4 more with 27. Jim Miller isn't a huge fan of the idea of Cerrone coming back because he did go away and take a bunch of steroids and now he wants to come back. Cerrone was quite open about taking a whole bunch of PEDs, feeling like a whole new person, and now he wants to return. Besides that, Miller is also concerned that he did get knocked out a few times towards the end of his career, and that can't be healed with the TRT. Pantoja no longer interested in moving up to 135. He was interested when O'Malley was the champion, but with O'Malley losing the belt, he doesn't have interest anymore. He is the favorite against Asakura next weekend. Asakura is looking to become the first Japanese UFC champion. There have been some Japanese fighters who have fought for a UFC title, but were unsuccessful in winning it. Call Uno fought a couple times for the lightweight title against BJ Penn and Jens Pulver. Yusha Nakami fought Anderson Silva for the belt. Horiguchi fought for the flyweight title but got armbarred at the very last second of the fight against Demetrius Johnson. And Yuki Kondo fought Tito Ortiz for the belt back in the day. Interestingly, Tyra, if he won this fight a month and a half ago, he would have been fighting for the flyweight belts, but Royval won. So instead, we have another Japanese fighter fighting for the flyweight belts. PFL Chairman Don Davis says, congrats to Team Habib. Habib now trains and guides all 155 world champs in the PFL, in Bellator, and in the UFC. 185-pound champ in Bellator, Johnny Eblin says, what's next for us, Don? Let's get a fight schedule rolling for 2025. Bellator fighters are just in a state of limbo. They don't know when they're fighting next or what's going on. No communication whatsoever. If it keeps going, they may have to take some sort of legal action. Musasi did that on a personal level as an individual, but if all fighters are in the same boat, they may all come together and take some sort of legal action if it continues. Rabadonov won the PFL lightweight title on Friday, and he was injured 2 weeks before the fight. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roche, Saturday, March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Andre Petroski still looking to fight Bo Nickel. It may be a possibility. It doesn't look like the UFC is going to give Nickel a ranked opponent, so an unranked guy like Petroski may be possible.
Good morning. This message is for circa 1800 on Parsons Street, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm going to make it short and brief. This morning was a little messed up, how you made me and my family wait outside in the cold, claiming you guys were just setting a table, which is pretty much gaslighting. I'll get into that later. As soon as you saw my brother-in-law, who was white, your whole perspective changed. Now, I know racism is still going on, all that stuff, but I'm just here to remind you to stop that shit. It makes you look dumb. You can't be fat, stupid, and racist. You gotta pick one. That shit should just stop it. You look ridiculous. Obviously, I will never come here again, but just want to let you know how bad you fucked up. Okay, so if you don't really know what gaslighting is or racial gaslighting, it's mainly when, black person experience racism and someone says, oh, that didn't really happen to you, or no, you're just overthinking it, or you know what, they're just looking at you because you're a good-looking person. I know what that shit is. I live in it. I know what it feels like. I get it. It's a little uncomfortable for some of you folks to talk about, but when you live in it, it's easy to get it off your chest. So I went back to that lady, and she said, no, we're not racist. It's just a procedure. Right. Anyways, bitch, just do better.